So tell me, wee cousin, what's next?
So this is the leftover from the salmon. I say leftover, but there's actually a big piece, and I'm going to do it two ways. So this is two ways to use cold salmon. Okay. If you remember, we had the whole big fillet. We had a chunk of it earlier with the griddled fennel, and now we're using these up. It's a way that, you know, if you do a big piece of salmon one evening, you can have lunch the next day, you can have dinner.
Yeah. Good idea.
It just means that you can use big pieces of fish without getting worried.
I'll let you crack on.
Okie doke. So I'm going to use roughly half of this for the first dish, which is a salad with salmon. Right, so one of the ingredients for this salad is going to be quinoa, which is, it's not a grain, but it's a bit like rice, it's richer. I get the pre-cooked variety, which you then just do in the microwave. So I'm just going to pop this in the microwave. You have to kind of scoosh up the pack a wee bit. And any brand is fine. This is just what I happen to find in Sainsbury's. Right, that's it on for 2 minutes. We'll hear it ting in a wee moment. And it's a salad where you can use any kind of summer veg. So I've looked at what I've got in my fridge and I'm adding things. If you have some favorite veg, you can put them in. I like peppers, so I'm going to put a little bit of a variety of peppers. And I think it's nice to have the different colors, both because it looks nice, but also because they taste a bit differently. So this is the way I cut them. Means that you waste very little of the pepper, which is always a good thing. That's it hot now, and you might think, why am I adding it to a salad? But while I prepare all of the vegetables, it's going to be cooling down. So it is very hot. You can see the steam coming off it. Right. Now, one of the things I'm going to do right away is take a lemon and squeeze a wee bit of lemon juice over it. And lemon's going to be one of the main ingredients for the sauce. So stick a fork in and give it a good squeeze. And if you're like me, you'll find that you've still managed to get one pip in there. Make that 3, 2, and 3. All right, doesn't want to come. And then just fluff it up a bit. So different kinds of quinoa can be more white, more red, more brown. Just depends on what's available. So I'll now leave that just to cool while I get on with preparing the veg. The way I like to cut peppers is in small pieces, because especially in a salad like this, you don't want to have great big hunks that you're gnawing away at. So I just do strips. And you might think, why am I doing them on the diagonal? Because it's prettier. Right, so you've got a nice assortment of peppers. You can see there's a real range of colors, and part of why I like that is dietitians say nowadays you should eat the rainbow. In other words, have vegetables from different colors, so you're certainly getting a nice selection there. So this has cooled down a bit now. So I'm going to add a bit of iceberg lettuce. You can buy it prepared like here, or you can buy a fresh one. So just going to put a wee bit in. This just adds a bit of crunch and texture. As I said, you can put anything in that you like. Right. And I'm just stirring it, and the reason I'm stirring it is it helps to cool the quinoa down. Okay, so a bit more vegetables to prep, so I'll move this to the side. So next thing I want is spring onions. I'm not going to actually put them through, I'm going to put them on top as a garnish. Next thing I'm going to prep is the asparagus. Now I'm going to char grill these. So the only thing I do is I just chop the end off. Right, now I'll go over to the hob. Right, so here's the char grilled asparagus. Let it cool down just a little bit. It's still warm. And I'm just going to cut it a wee bit. So that, again, so you don't have great big pieces. So once and twice. Right. And then now I'm going to take the mint. So I think mint always adds a nice fresh flavour to salad. So I've washed it off, just rinsed it, dried the leaves a bit, and it smells great. So you can cheat here and you can use scissors. So I've got nice scissors and just get this all ready. And just cut it into kind of strips. So you can see we're getting more and more things in. Now it's a little bit on the green side, so we're going to add some tomatoes. And I like cherry tomatoes, but if you prefer bigger ones, that's okay. Don't discriminate against different types of tomatoes, and if you like orange or yellow ones, whatever takes your fancy. So I'm just going to mix this a wee bit. Now for the dressing, I'm going to do something which is a bit different, which is it's very fresh. It's essentially just lemon juice and rapeseed oil. You can use a different type of oil if you prefer olive oil or avocado oil, but it's an oil which has a nice flavour and it's full of vitamins. This one's just from Sainsbury's, so easy to get. You can see it's quite golden in colour. And that reflects the fact, if you're travelling through the fields, rapeseed is yellow, the flowers, and you can see it in the oil. And you can see the quinoa here needs to be just slightly coated. You don't want it drenched, but equally you need to have enough to get it damp, right? And then I've got some super sprouts, or you can use baby cress. I don't add a lot. Again, it's just to make it interesting. Again, all of the supermarkets will have their own version of this. And you can see it's just little sprouty ones. So there we go. And I'll just put a little bit on to dress at the end. Right, now the one thing that's missing is the salmon. So let me bring that back, and then I'm going to flake that into the salad. So I've cut a few bits of salmon off from the big piece that we had before. Keep those bits of onion. Right, and literally you just get into it with your fingers. Now, if you remember, this has still got the skin on, so you just peel the skin off delicately, and you just flake it in little bits. You're not trying to do anything fancy. That's my dog barking. He gets agitated when I talk about fish because he can't have any. Right, there we go. And then depending on what you like, you can add a little bit more sprouts, add some onion. It's just meant to be quite fresh and summery.
That'd be nice. As a summer dish, that'd be nice. Nice and refreshing.
And to use up all of the odds and ends that you've got in your fridge.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's an easy dish.